As for me, do I believe in the preexistence of souls? Yeah, probably, sure. I don't believe that there was a fall within historical time. I believe we come into this world from some other frame of reality.
Welcome back to another episode of Adam's Fall. In this episode, I'm going to review a very interesting set of comments from David Bentley Hart. Now, David Bentley Hart is an Orthodox Christian theologian. I ran across him when I was in my, quote, nihilistic phase and was searching for answers within different traditions. And I've read several of his books, which I highly recommend. Now, I came across this video about the pre-existence of souls. Did we exist before we came to Earth? It appears that David Bentley Hart believes so.
As for me, do I believe in the preexistence of souls? Yeah, probably, sure. I don't believe that there was a fall within historical time. I believe we come into this world from some other frame of reality. I believe in fallenness, and I don't believe it's something that happened in time to an ancestor of ours. I think it's something that we as a, the way Bulgakov understood is that our true human identity is a corporate identity in Christ in eternity. And there's this notion he borrows from Gregory of Nyssa of the first creation being of the heavenly human being, right? It's the heavenly, and who is all of us all together, athraos, together as one, whose head is the Logos. And that it is this is the first Adam who in some sense fell. Now there have been, very powerful alternative readings of Origin floated in recent years. John Bear, for instance, who assimilates, in a way that Bulgakov to a degree does as well, the condition of souls before this world to their eschatological state, in the sense that what is eternal is eternally true, and that in eternity all souls are already joined to God in perfect rejoicing, and within that context, that's in a sense the pre-existence from which they posit their freedom in time.
So I found those comments very interesting. I don't think David Bentley Hart is probably agreeing technically with the LDS position on the pre-existence of souls. I don't think he believes that it happened within, quote, historical time, as he says. But it's interesting that he does believe that within some alternate reality, there was a fall. And in the LDS tradition, we believe before we came to Earth as spirit children, there was in some sense an opportunity to choose to come to this earth and suffer the vicissitudes of mortality, or choose not to come to this earth and forego that opportunity. There was also Lucifer and his followers that rebelled against God, sought God's glory, and to undermine God. So in some sense, there's an interesting convergence between David Bentley Hart in terms of this belief in a fall in another reality. And I would also say that there can be two falls. There can be a fall that could have occurred in some, quote, pre-existent state, and also the fall we all encounter, that we all suffer from when we make bad decisions and suffer the consequences. In all of our lives, the fall is instantiated. And I also found it very interesting that David Bentley Hart talks about a community with Jesus, God, in oneness in the pre-existent state. that that state was ruled by the Logos and that we were in communion. This reminds me a lot of the LDS vision of how God gathered, quote, spirit children or intelligences together and offered them a plan of salvation that they might become like him. And by inference, that there was some sort of communal gathering around the Logos. Look forward to your comments and suggestions. Until the next video.